Northern Cyprus, or Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, is a de facto Muslim-majority state of Cyprus Island, recognized only by the Turkey so far. Today, it is named the Republic of Cyprus on the world map by the Western superpowers, but is actually under the control of the modern Turkey, and unfortunately has been long forgotten by most of today's Muslim world, as many Muslim states were forced not to accept its existence. You, as a Muslim, should know these pages of history, as this is one of the most major conflicts between Greece and the modern Muslim-majority Turkey, as they both share their Greek and Turkish heritage with the Cypriots. Most people who feel aggrieved are the Turks, because for them, it's not only about the piece of land. It's about the people who are Turkish Muslim descendants. People living in Northern Cyprus share more in common with modern Turkey than the Republic of Cyprus or Greece, most of which are somehow close relatives and descendants. You must be thinking about how this part of the island ended up in a conflict and how its majority population is Muslim and still not known by many Muslims. The answer to TRNC's Muslim majority stems from its time under the Ottoman Empire. Cyprus, as it appears on the map today, was once ruled by the Ottomans. The Ottoman Caliphate extended across the three continents, among many countries and islands. Cyprus had the greatest Turkic population outside Turkey, which it still has. The island came under the rule of the Ottomans in 1571 AD. From there on, many Muslims started trading and traveling to the island in search of income, business, and travel, as Muslims during that period enjoyed good commercial sense with respect to trade and sailing skills. The reign of the Ottomans was also indeed one of the finest of its times. The rights and religious freedom were widespread things that many Orthodox Christians, living as a predominant minority, enjoyed and appreciated. Women could own businesses and walk freely with veils on, a common practice in Orthodox Christianity. These rights were admired by many Orthodox Christians, which led their way to Islam. It is said that many people living on the island reverted to Islam during the 1600s and 1700s, just because of the Muslim practices and fair justice system of the Ottomans, which was not possible before the Ottomans, as Europe was a lawless land before the advent of Islam. So this is how Northern Cyprus got its Muslim majority today. But you're probably wondering why you're not aware of it. It's a long story. We'll have to delve deeper into the past to discover more. Well, it was the year 1878 when things started changing significantly, and the Ottomans engaged in multiple battles with the Russian Empire for years. Muslims in Turkish regions needed to establish military bases, and Cyprus provided them the ideal location to defend the vast Muslim empire. Slowly and gradually, the Muslim population grew on the island as it became more important to defend Muslims and other minorities from Russian aggressors. It was a difficult period for the Muslims and the Ottomans because they were constantly at odds with the Orthodox Russian Christian crusaders. The latter also possessed one of the greatest empires in the Asian region. In 1878, the Ottomans gave up Cyprus Island to the British Empire in exchange for an agreement to protect the Ottoman Empire from the potential aggression of Russian crusaders. At that time, Ottomans lost a lot of control over the states under it, and due to significant losses in the war against its opponents, it was under more pressure. Therefore, it was not in a state of protecting itself from the bigger enemy. Meanwhile, the Britishers were a growing power in Europe. It seemed viable to have the United Kingdom's help. Such an alliance was not something the world would have expected. As the Muslims, Ottomans defeated the Christian British Empire Crusaders in 1807 and 1827. However, the British Empire failed to control the Turkish lands due to the defeats and was asked to return. But later in the years onward, From 1830, they were asked by the sultans multiple times to partner up with the Ottomans to deal with the Russian Empire in exchange for the lands. It is noted that the land of Cyprus was offered to the British Empire 3 times in 1833, 1841, and 1845. The Britishers only accepted in 1878, that too for the protection of its lands. But the question is, when it all ended up in a conflict and lost Muslim significance, when everything was somehow under the control of Muslims and Ottomans were allied with the United Kingdom, the Ottoman-British alliance appeared to be working well in the mid-1800s, but everything went wrong in the 1900s when World War I ravaged Europe. The British Empire was in full power in the Arab and subcontinent region. To gain more power, it planned to destroy the Ottoman Empire, but for that, a massive betrayal was required. Yes, you heard it right, a betrayal by a Muslim-majority state to depose the Ottoman Caliphate, which held the world's Muslims together for centuries. Britain successfully found one in the Arab region, Saudi Arabia. In 1924, during the war, the Ottomans became the weakest, and the empire ended with multiple restrictions for a century. Among other restrictions, Ottomans were forced to flee Turkey, resulting in an increase in the Muslim population of Northern Cyprus, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Berlin, and a few other Muslim countries. The Muslims' long suffering began in Northern Cyprus when almost all decisions were made by the London administration. People lost their ability to choose their leaders. They had no choice but to accept the kingdom's decisions, even if it meant serving the United Kingdom during World War II. To save the kingdom, Muslims and other minorities from all of the UK's occupied territories had to fight in World War II. However, while asking people to do so, Britain was losing its grip in most regions, including Europe, Arab, and the subcontinent. So in the year 1960, Cyprus got its independence from the United Kingdom and appeared on the map as a separate state. Northern Cyprus included too. Turkey, nonetheless, was not satisfied with the ongoing political, so the Turkish forces tried to get Northern Cyprus back in an attempt made after some years of the Second World War, that is the year 1974, July 20th. But Turkey was able to occupy only 36% of the land and remained successful in taking back control of Northern Cyprus. Many states formed between 1924 and the 1980s were forced to reject Turkey's claim to the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. Bangladesh and Pakistan were among the countries forced to accept Northern Cyprus as part of the Republic of Cyprus. This was due to the agreement signed between Turkey, the United Kingdom, and Greece. However, Turkish Cypriots took control of the state and still consider Northern Cyprus as modern Turkey's part, clearly because of the Turkish Muslim heritage. With the growing interference of the United States in Turkey's politics and trade, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus still faces many challenges to date, especially the financial crisis, devalued currency, and constant US-funded terror attacks. But inshallah, good times are ahead for Turkey as the restrictions imposed in 1923 to 24 on Turkey will be lifted in 2023, and it's expected that Turkey will be able to flourish again, which will significantly help the Northern Cypriots more in the upcoming years. It can be predicted that soon many of the Muslim states will be able to accept the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus as a separate state without any Western influence, since the West is constantly failing.